Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of your Recipe of the Week with Cooking Rules with Jules. That's me. My name is Julia Pontanis and I'm here to make your kitchen experience not only incredibly easy, but healthy as well. So today is going to be a very, very simple recipe. All it involves is some veggies in your oven. With fall coming around, it's becoming more and more difficult to eat those cold foods, right? So roasting your veggies is a fantastic way to add a little bit of variety into your diet, but also to experiment with some flavor profiles. I was just talking with an old friend of mine yesterday, and she's like, I'm tired of eating chicken and broccoli. Steamed broccoli at that. And I thought, you know what, me too. Why don't we do another roasted veggie that isn't necessarily a tubular like I've done in the past, which I'll link in this video where I did roasted potatoes and broccoli. So today I'm going to do a nice colorful medley of red and orange bell pepper. I happen to have a red onion that I'm going to use as well, and cauliflower. I have my oven preheating to 375, and this is really simple. All I'm going to do is thoroughly wash my vegetables, give them a chop. So for a bell pepper, slice it in half, cut around the top, popped out the stem, took out all the seeds and the pith, which is this little white part right here. It's not really flavorful, it's just kind of veiny, right? So took that out, and then to make your life easy for chopping these bell peppers, with your knife, I'm going to go through, lay it down skin side down, and cut along the inside. So again, I'm doing that nice roll and chop, roll and chop, roll and chop. And I have a nice little segment here of bell peppers, that of which I've already done before I got this video going. For my onions, so this guy's already been used to, cut him in half, but as you can see, his little hairdo is left on the top here. So whenever you're dicing onions, just trim off the bottom, keep that hairy part on top. That way when you dice your onions, you can keep them from sliding everywhere. So in this case, I'm going to keep them in about a 1/4 inch chops because I want the size of my onion to match the size of my pepper. That way they don't burn or overcook or undercook while they're in the oven there. And there's my preheat. How exciting. And then once I'm done, just going to chop off the hairdo, and there you have it. These wonderful slices of onion. What you're also going to need, just keep that right there, of course, is sea salt. Know your palate. Today I'm going to do some onion powder, some ancho chili, and of course our magic roasting ingredient is extra virgin olive oil. So I prefer organic. This one just happens to be conventional. That's okay. You could most certainly do this with coconut oil as well, but if you're going to do that, make sure that you melt the coconut oil first so it becomes a liquid form, because it is solid in its room temperature state, and then drizzle it over your veggies. So oven preheated, check, 375. Baking sheet lined, check. Also, I prefer parchment paper, but we just happen to have foil, so here we go. I'm using what's on hand, right? Being innovative, using what I have, not being excessive in any way, shape, or form. And of course, this is already pre-packaged cauliflower from Costco. And these florets are pretty big. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is take my onions, separate it into their segments, right, just loosely on the pan, and spread them out kind of evenly. That way they all get cooked thoroughly. This is also a really great meal prep hack, so if you don't have time during the week to really cook veggies, you know you need them. We all need vegetables in our diet, right? So 2 servings of two servings of veggies per meal, 1 serving of protein, and then 1 serving of that complex carb if you desire. So like sweet potato or butternut squash, something like that. Or if you're doing grains, then it could be farro, amaranth, quinoa, whatever you feel. But anyways, veggies should always be your superstar, then your protein, then your complex carb. Okay, here we go. Boom. So these guys are now nicely onto my pan. Next comes my bell peppers, and again, spreading evenly, because when I go to drizzle this olive oil, I want it to coat generously. Could I toss this in a bowl and then put it on my pan? Absolutely. I didn't feel like washing that many dishes today. So here we are, right? Gonna go ahead and get these guys on here. And now, as you can see, comparatively speaking, I got a tree and a branch. So I'm gonna just kind of go through the rest of this cauliflower here and get those guys into more smaller florets, more like this guy. So now we're a little bit more even. So the rest of this is gonna come here. And then I'm just gonna get this little chop. So again, I'm just using up leftover veggies that are in the fridge, and I needed something for lunch today, so here we are with your recipe of the week. So don't ever feel like you can't eat a certain lifestyle because, well, I don't have it already pre-made, or I don't have all the ingredients. The ingredient combination resides within your creativity, so don't be afraid to experiment with fun things. Okay, here we go. That is a very good looking and very appetizing veggie tray right there. All right, perfect. So next step, organic olive oil. I like to live life on the edge and be dangerous, but I'm gonna put my 2 fingers over the top of this olive oil and give it a generous drizzle. So I'm gonna go back and forth. So remember, with paleo, unless you're blocking, most of the time the fats are your cooking fats, but I'm not really measuring. 1 serving of fat is 1 tablespoon of olive oil. That's most certainly more than 1 tablespoon. But since we have a lot of veggies on here, and that's eventually going to reside in the juices on the pan, I'm gonna be a little generous with it, but not terrible. Put that back, boom. Okay, salt. Again, please just know how much salt you like. Use the end with the small holes, not the big ones like I just did. I prefer sea salt. I really love pink Himalayan salt, but you could also experiment. If you're a salt fanatic with all these different sea salts, go try them out. Black truffle oil, smoky gray Himalayan salt. I mean, go for it. So anyways, these guys are gonna get just a nice little coating here. And then I do some onion powder, which will, when you roast, especially if you get in the top shelf, that's where it's gonna get the most hot for most ovens anyways, and you'll get some nice browning on the outside. It's almost gonna like crystallize and give it some texture. So again, I'm not gonna be a crazy person. I'm just fairy dusting. Fairy dust, fairy dust, fairy dust. If you're a fan of the birdcage, you know where that line comes from. If not, it's snowing onions. And then, of course, I'm gonna give this some ancho chili. So it is, yum, really smoky. It almost kind of has like that paprika type of smokiness to it, but gives you a little bit of heat and that nice smoky flavor, earthy flavor. And again, these guys are just going to get a nice sprinkle. Again, I don't need to kill anybody with the heat or the spice. I'm just trying to bring out the natural flavor. So here, red onion is very pungent. The broccoli and the bell pepper this is cauliflower, Julia. The cauliflower and the bell peppers kind of mellow that out. Bell peppers tend to be very sweet, especially the more red that they become. And then, of course, cauliflower also, depending, is kind of like your blank canvas, can also be very sweet. But now that this is done, I'm gonna pop this into the oven for about 40 minutes. And then when it's done, I will show you the finished product. So here we go into the oven, and with magic, when I come back, you'll have roasted veggies. Okay, so it has been 35 minutes on the nose, and I have on my oven mitts getting ready to pull these veggies out of the oven. They look delicious, by the way. Okay, here we go. Please be very careful You can see they are steaming and just what we want, right? Besides to close the oven. As you can tell on top here, these veggies have got that nice brown coloration, and I'm getting a steam facial while I'm at it. That granulated onion gave me a nice little crystallized appearance. But anyways, as always, I have things everywhere. Thank you so much for tuning in this week and watching me, Julia Pontanis, with your recipe of the week. So if you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, drop me some comments, tell me what type of spices you're using, and if you don't like me, then I need to know why as well. My videos come out every Wednesday, fingers crossed, just depending on A, internet, and B, travel schedule, but also, I was going to say C, but there is no C. But anyways, every Wednesday, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, let me know what you want me to cook. All right, until then, be safe, be well.